a lot of fun movements planned. Usually Kevin is the one taking this class, but I am filling in today. Very basic stuff. We're going to work, as Kevin probably does, on the spine, the hip, and the shoulder. And we're going to start real slow. We're going to start on the ground. If you have a yoga mat, that's even better, but carpet works as well. And I always recommend just take the shoes off, just so we can feel the ground a little bit, if you haven't done so already. And yeah, 20 minutes, let's get after it. So why don't we go ahead and start on the ground. We're going to get in what's called a shin box. So you have a 90-degree angle in front, and then a 90-degree angle in back with your knees. Now from here, it's real important that we try to connect our full shin from the top of the knee all the way to the ankle with the ground, and then point our toes. If we need to, you can use your hands on the ground. But we're going to do 3 different stretches here. So the first one is just folding forward. Now we want to do this without rounding our back, but if we have to, okay, just go to a level that's comfortable, reaching forward and then back. Okay, so you're just going to go whatever level that is, driving forward and driving that driving that knee through the ground, opening up that hip. Come back, okay? And then you're gonna rotate over that knee, okay? So you're gonna add a little spine rotation. Nothing crazy, just ever so slightly. And then the last thing you're gonna do is basically reach that hand across. You can drop that elbow down and really open up that oblique. Okay, those are the 3 things we're gonna do. We're gonna do this actually 5 different times, just on one side, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. Okay, so forward fold. Try to gain a little bit more range each time. So maybe we gain a little bit more spine rotation. Maybe here we're opening up a little bit more. Or we're just gonna reach forward, come back up. Rotate, come back up, and then big Latin oblique stretch, come back up. 5 of each on that one side. You can inhale between stretches. You can exhale through the ranges. However you feel comfortable breathing here, but let's not forget to go back to the breath if we ever get caught holding our breath. We don't want to do that. We want to continue to breathe. So if you ever get caught in a stretch, just go back to your breath. And I'm going to switch sides here, and we're going to start on that other side. So reaching forward, rotating, and then reaching. Okay, reach forward, rotate, and reach. Now if that is getting a little too easy for you, on your forward fold, reach forward, and then push your leg through the ground. That's going to drive your upper body up, and it's going to add a little bit of activation through that hip. Okay, so whatever you're comfortable with. 5 of each. Very nice. All right. Now from here, I'm going to place my hands in back of me, and I'm going to get into basically a row position off of my heels. Toes are up. Now hands are out to the side, and then I'm just going to rock my hips from side to side. Okay, we're going to do this 5 each way. Every time you drop one knee down or on that inside part, okay, try to really lay that shin down. So lay that shin down, drive into the ground. You can release one hand if you want. 5 of each. Very nice. So from here, we're going to play with a little activation through the hips. So similar type motion as we drop those legs down. From here, we're going to try to push through the ground and then just come to basically a tall position, okay, from that shin box. So it looks like so. I drop my knees down. I can use my hands if I'd like, but I can also use my knees and shins and ankles, and then I'm just driving up, opening up that hip flexor and that TFL right there. Okay, so and then I'll rock to the other side, same thing, open up. Okay, we're gonna take this super slow. 5 of each side, open up, and if I'd like to, I can add a little twist, okay? whatever your range is this morning. Maybe you're a little stiffer, you did a workout yesterday, you ran. Wherever you're at. I'm a little tighter right now, so I'm taking it a little slower. Okay, so get to that top position and really try to drive through and open up that hip in front, okay? 5 on each side. All right, I hope that's going well. Then from here, we're actually gonna go into a tall kneeling position, and I'm gonna drive my right leg out straight. We call this a tripod position, being that now I'm gonna place one hand down on the ground. That hand that should be on the ground is going to be my left hand. So matching my left knee that's down, I'm going to drive back, okay? And when I drive back, I'm gonna pop this toe up. So it's gonna really stretch out that groin and adductor, and then I'm going to reach forward and pop my heel up. So I'm just rotating, ideally, I want to just rotate my foot in and out. So I'm ready in, and then the heel comes up. Just trying to get a little hip mobility back and forth. Again, 5 on each side. Okay, and then switch. Okay, same thing. Right hand is down, I drive back, pop my toe up, the leg that's straight, and then my toe goes through the ground, popping my heel up. So I'm just trying to get a little internal and external rotation of that hip. Open up my groin. Five on each side. Fantastic. All right. So we're going to go into a little bit of a yoga stretch here. You're probably familiar with it. It's called a pigeon stretch. So I'm going to have my left knee out in front. I'm going to drive my heel into my body, and I'm going to sit into that hip, basically trying to drive my butt through the ground and reach back to a level that's comfortable with my hip, but as well as my spine. I don't want to be super rounded here. And you can even add a little lat stretch with the leg that's straight. So the arm and leg are matching here, nice and long, and then come back. Okay, so we always want to have that nice stretch or contraction and then come back. Okay, we don't want to hold that position too long, 2 to 3 seconds. And again, as you can already tell, I'm staying with that number 5. So just go 5 on each side. When I do that lat stretch, I want to point my thumb to the ceiling. That's going to gain a little bit more range for my shoulder and my lat. And then once you're done 5 on each side, just switch. So try to drive that glute into the ground, gaining more range every rep. Good. Give you a little bit of time here. So, you can just watch the screen. We're going to go into a half kneeling position. Now, half kneeling position, really important that you're very structured on your lower half. So the back foot, as you can see, my toes are curled. You don't have to do that if you have foot problems, no big deal. But what we're going to do here is we're going to charge forward with those legs and open up that front part of my hip. Maybe it's better if I go here. And open up that front part of my hip. And then from here, I'm just going to drive my arms up to a big Y. And everything is coming forward, and then I just relax. Okay, so you feel a little contraction here in that quad. It's a good thing, but I want to drive my hip forward and then raise the arms. Okay, 5 times. So drive forward, arms raise, come back. Switch it up when you're done with 5. Okay, this is also working a little bit, as you can see, on that anterior part of our calf. Okay, so that dorsal flexion, which is really important for squatting, lunging, running, lots of good things. Super important that you contract that glute and back. Really trying to keep it tight the whole time. And come up. Good, once you're done with that, just stand up. And we're gonna take it into some standing mobility. All right. Hopefully your hips are feeling a little bit looser. If your spine's not there yet, don't worry, we're gonna do some rotation here, okay? So we're gonna go into a nice split stance, which means it's about 50-50 on each side. Okay, being that we're gonna create 90-degree angles with our knees. Okay, 90 down and then 90 out here in front. Now the trick here is, pretend that you're doing basically a pull-up or a lat pull-down, so you're driving your elbows down, contracting those big lat muscles in back, and then you're working your way down with the legs at the same time. So I pull down, I feel very strong here, and then I rotate over my knee. Okay, then I come back, knee myself back up. So I pull down, feel very powerful, almost like you're trying to flex your biceps in the mirror, and then rotate over. Come back, 5 each side. So as you pull down, that knee drops to the ground, just hovers about an inch off the ground, rotate over. So I'm really testing your stability there. Once you've done 5, switch it up, okay? Again, drive down, rotate. Drive down, and rotate. Good. Starting to get a little looser here. When we reach, try to really expand and point those fingers to opposite sides of the room. It's going to help your spine open up just that much more. Good. We're starting to feel a little bit more looser. I know I am. Let's get into what I call just a wide base, or kind of like a triangle shape with our legs. My toes, I want to face them forward, so I do have a lot of pressure off my heels. Now I'm going to do a big lateral lunge from here. So I'm going to sit in this imaginary chair here in my right side. Sit. I'm going to take my opposite hand. I'm going to rotate over that knee, open up. Okay, and then come back. Sit, rotate, and back. Again, always stay with 5, okay? Stay with 5. Good, switch it up. Now when we sit into that chair, we do want to have some comfort on that opposite leg. So if we go in too far with our legs, you're going to feel like it's really hard to rotate, or if we're too narrow, maybe we're hunched over too much. So get to whatever's comfortable for you, where I feel like I'm in a very athletic position with my, almost like my nose, my knee, and my toe are all in one line here. This is a big staple for us for our lunging patterns. I know the lateral lunge is great. If you have dumbbells at home, you can load that up pretty well. It's a fun one. Okay, so we have opened up the groin a little bit. We've done some rotation. Now it's time to get back to what we started with, the obliques. So I have my left foot down. I'm going to cross it over with my right. So again, left foot is down. I take a step over that left foot with my right foot. Okay, now I'm a little crossed up here. I'm going to take my left hand and really reach. Okay, so I'm going to open all of this up and then come back. Okay, so I'm just going to stay here. Again, 5 on each side. Come back. Should feel a big stretch all the way down. Back and forth. Okay. Just creating that teeter-totter type motion. And again, if I go off my right side, my left foot is now stepping over right, and I'm opening up. Whichever foot is back, I'm opening up with that hand overhead, tilting, and then coming back. Okay, we don't want to stay there, and we don't want to go to a level that's uncomfortable. No ripping or tearing. Stay safe. Good. 5 on each side. Okay. Now, from here, we should start to feel a lot looser, especially in the obliques. I want to raise those arms overhead, almost like a sun salutation yoga-wise, and then just take it straight down, forward fold, touch the ground, and then come back up. Okay, so again, how does that look? Big arm sweep, get to that top position, drive down, reach the ground, touch, come back up. Okay, reach the ground, touch, but I want to be active with my arms. I don't want them to just do nothing. So I'm pulling and pushing up. We're going to do this 10 times. So just forward fold 10 times. That's all we're doing. Just opening up those hips. Trying to get a little bit more dynamic here. Awesome. Good. Okay, from here we're going to work on the squat. So we just worked on bending at the hip. Now we're going to bend a little bit at the knees. So whatever level is comfortable, ground yourself with those feet. So basically what that means is indent your feet into the sand. If you're at the beach and you really drive your feet into that wet sand, what happens? Your footprint is left. Do the same thing here with the squat, okay? So drive down. So basically driving your chest in between your legs. Okay, and then I'm just going to reach right to my left side, and then left hand to my right side, almost like I'm pushing the force away, Star Wars reference, and then come back up. So, squat, right to left, left to right, you'll feel that in that hip, come back to neutral, and stand. Again, squat, boom, push, push, stand, continuing that rotation. If you want to keep that other arm active, you can. You can pull it into you. So left arm pulls in, right arm pushes. Right arm pushes, pulls in, left arm pushes. So it's a pulling, pushing kind of motion. Bam, bam. Okay? Again, we're going to try to do that anywhere from 8 to 10 reps. We don't want to get the heart rate up too crazy, but I do want you to be feeling active at the end of this. Okay? 8 to 10 reps there. Okay? We're winding down here. We're going to finish with the last dynamic piece, and then I want to end with some more static. Okay? So the last dynamic piece. We are going to reach our left hand to our right side, almost like we're picking something up on the outside of my right foot. So I'm pushing my left hand down on the outside of my right foot, and then I'm rotating up and pushing everything up with that right hand. So it's like a big X of left hand push, left hand picks up, then I drive up with my right side. So everything comes up to the ceiling. 5 on each. Make sure you're pivoting with that foot. Notice how I'm pivoting on the ball of my foot. Little rotation there. Okay, switch it up. Outside of my left with my right. Drive up. Almost like we're doing shot put. Got that ball in hand. Boom, launching it out. Awesome. 5 on each side. Have fun with that. That's a good one. Just to kind of loosen up the body. Now we're going to end with a tall kneeling position, back where we started. Okay? From here, all we're going to do is place one hand. You can pick right or left. Behind the back, I got my right hand here. Pretend that we're scratching our back with the top of our hand. Okay? Then you're going to take the opposite hand, place it on basically the ear. We're going to try to open up this upper trap. So drive that head away, shoulders go down away from the ear, and then relax. Okay? We don't want to go too crazy. Drive away. Again, 5 each side. This one is a lifesaver. If I'm ever having a day where I'm just either on my phone too much or I'm on my computer too much and my neck is just ruined by the end of the day, sometimes I'll do some mobility and then end with this. I don't want to go straight to it every day just because I'd rather get that core temp up a little bit. Sometimes when we try to stretch these areas, it kind of tweaks and then we're out for a week, right? So just be careful and gentle with that trap. Last one is we're going to open up the knees now, and all we're going to do is reach our left hand to the right side. Okay, get a big lat stretch, and then you're just gonna walk it slowly to the opposite side. So remember, right hand reaches to left side, then we walk. So we do want to get a nice stretch here. You don't have to walk, you can just go left to right side, come up, right to left side. The big thing here is we're trying to open up the lat. Okay, so again, 5 each side. All right. Now I'm going to put you to the test here. I want you to mentally remember this movement. If you don't remember any of the movements today, remember this one. This one you can take home with you for the holidays. I'm sure you've done it before. But we're going to be on our left side here. This is a stability exercise. Imagine you're doing a side plank, right? So we're doing a side plank off our left side. Now, I want to regress that side plank, so I'm going to draw my heels in. So I'm going to create that 90 with both feet, draw my heels in. I'm going to do a regress side plank from my knee and my elbow. So I'm going to come up, pop the hips up. Okay, so now I'm in this side plank off of my knee and elbow. And from here, super simple, drop the hips back, reach the arm forward. Okay, and then all I'm doing from this bottom position is driving my elbow and knee through the ground. And then I pop straight up. You can either row or you can do a reverse fly with the arm. And you can also separate the knees if you like. Now, repeat that. It is a bit of rotation. You can see its stability. It's working that hip, spine, shoulder, basically the whole body. One of the best movements I can recommend for anybody if they're out, if they're watching TV at the end of the day, just do some corrective movements. This will feel great. 5 on each side. Remember, off that side plank, draw the heels in, regress. Now if you want to get a little more technical, if you're not feeling it as much as you did maybe when you first started, if you've done this before, drive your top leg nice and straight and then rotate your palm, to the ceiling. So you're almost like in a Spider-Man position, almost like you're running. And then pop up. 5 on each side. And that concludes today. So that is our mobility session. I hope you feel that much better. I hope that your body is ready to go for today, the TGIF, right, Friday. So I hope everything goes well to end your week. I can't thank you enough for joining me. It's really awesome. I know that you came on here before. Kevin was talking that we had one consistent person coming on mobility, which is great. And also, happy holidays. Be safe. And we'll see you on the new year, I guess.